What's happening? I'm Brian Tong, and welcome to the Apple Byte for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple. Now, you're probably getting fatigued with the non-stop barrage of iPhone stories, so we'll start with a couple of other stories, and then we'll beat you down with the iPhone ones. All right, now the September 12th date is still the expected target for Apple's new announcements, and yeah, you know about this guy. But the Telegraph reports that Apple is also planning to launch what's described as Airplay Direct technology that will allow wireless music playback to speaker systems without the need for an existing wireless network. Now, the rumored smaller dock connector will pretty much eliminate the current speaker docks moving forward, so it's most likely a chipset that stereo manufacturers will be able to integrate into their systems. So we'll look to see what the Cupertino kids have to say about it. Mako Takara also chimes in with a report from their sources where they believe the next-gen iPod Nano may come with Wi-Fi capabilities to enable iTunes in the cloud support. They're also reporting that the new 7.85-inch iPad will be officially called the iPad Mini and not the Mini-Me like we guessed here. Many of us here at the office were devastated by this news. But we were cheered right back up after All Things D and other sources confirmed rumors that the iPad Mini will debut with a separate event of its own sometime in October. And we mentioned that possibility on last week's show. Now that's a trick or treat, and that makes no sense. Now, in MacBook Pro news, an NPD display search analyst has also told CNET that production is underway with the 13.3-inch Retina display for the MacBook Pro with a 2560 by 1600 pixel resolution, and it started up in the third quarter. Now, this specific display is for the 13-inch Pro and not a MacBook Air, and they're being produced by Samsung, LGD, and Sharp, according to our source. With production underway, a new Retina 13-inch could still make it before the holiday season, and my Apple Byters who are asking over email, we still haven't heard any chatter from the iMac or Mac Mini camps. All right, let's shift to the iPhone. Yes, the iPhone. And images released earlier in the week that showed off an assembled front panel highlighting what was claimed to be an NFC chip, but that's been shot down by AnandTech and others due to its primarily metal backside and very little space at the top and bottom of the phone dedicated to the glass RF windows. Next-gen iPhone accessories with a 9-pin dock connector have been published by iLounge that show accessories from Scosche, including dual-device wall chargers and car chargers that have the rumored dock connector to use with an included micro USB cable for the accessories to connect between the new iPhone and the charger. And if you can't wait for the iPhone and you want one now, you know my Chinese peeps got you covered with their own knockoff called the Goo Phone i5. That's the name, the Goo Phone i5. Now, it takes on the two-tone back design, but still keeps a 3.5-inch screen with a 5-megapixel rear camera, and it's really the best of both worlds. All right, let's take a quick break for a useful tip from Don O'Bell to make your iTunes music sound a whole lot better.
If you spend a lot of time listening to iTunes, I'm going to tell you a few simple things you can do to improve your audio experience. First off, invest in some better headphones. There's no miracle that's going to make these sound any better. CNET has a roundup of great choices under $50 that will provide a night and day difference in audio quality. A good in-ear headphone or over-the-ear headphone will also help block out external noise so that you can hear details in your music and not have to turn up to full volume to drown out distractions. If you already have headphones figured out, try the sound enhancement setting in iTunes. Open up iTunes Preferences and select the tab for playback. You'll see a sound enhancer box that you can check on and adjust to your taste. Moving the slider up seems to make the stereo effect a little bit more dramatic. Audiophiles may turn up their nose, but if you like what you hear, just go for it. While you're here, you'll also notice a box for sound check that will automatically adjust the volume between songs so that you're not racing for the volume control every time a quiet song comes on. Personally, I keep this off, but if it fixes a problem for you, you should use it. It's especially handy if you have music playing in your office. I should also mention the iTunes equalizer. You'd think this would be in the playback menu, but it's actually over here under Window. Open it up and you'll see a 10-band graphic equalizer that you can tweak to your heart's desire. You can start with a list of presets like rock, hip-hop, or classical, or you can make a manual adjustment to any of them and dial in things just the way you like. Now, one cool trick that few people know about in iTunes is that you can actually assign different EQ presets to different songs. If you know that you want a little extra EQ when Led Zeppelin comes on, here's how to do it. Select a song or group of songs and then select Get Info from the File menu. Under the Options tab, you'll see a setting for Equalizer preset along with a drop-down menu of all the different presets. Hit OK, and now whenever those songs come on, they'll sound just the way you like.
All right, thanks, Donald, but I think I'll just keep my music collection on my personal custom setting. Sexy. All right, you're already in the know that the Big A versus Samsung trial resulted in Apple winning a whopping $1.05 billion in damages after a jury found that Samsung infringed on 6 of 7 patents in the trial and Apple infringed on none of Samsung's. Then several internet sites started legitimately reporting that Samsung paid the entire amount with 30 truckloads of 5-cent coins. That's the internet we're dealing with today, people, and entirely not true. Now, Apple is seeking a ban on sales of 8 Samsung phones in the US. Some are less known models, but the list includes the Galaxy S4G and the Galaxy S2. They also plan on putting a permanent ban on the Galaxy Tab 10.1 in the United States as well. We'll wait to see if Apple takes this ruling and runs with it against other manufacturers, or even tries to target Android directly. But one company that has no intentions of settling with them is HTC. Now, both companies have been suing each other since 2010 because they love each other so much, but there's one thing that HTC's next 10-inch tablet won't look like based on these leaked images, and that's an iPad. But you know what? It sure looks a lot like an iMac. You go on with your bad self, HTC. Now, just a few quick things we wanted to say. A big congratulations to Stephen Gold and his wife, who are due and have already delivered by now Baby G, who is officially the Apple Byte's youngest fan and is somewhere in this picture. And a reminder, our 200th episode party is going down on September the 7th in San Francisco with free drinks and giveaways and all kinds of crazy stuff. We're taking our cameras, and you could even be in the show. That's right. Now, you can all get the details on my Twitter or just go to this link, and I might even let someone like this into the party if they're lucky. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. Send me your emails to theapplebite@cnet.com. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for another Bite of the Apple.